So, Season 3 of Home for Christmas gave us quite the ending, didn't it? Our girl Johanne finally found herself a proper holiday romance with Bo, the carpenter. Sure, she had to sacrifice her actual Christmas day for it, but hey, she got her happy ending on New Year's Eve instead, all thanks to her friends and family pulling through for her. Where Season 3 left off, even though her plans for the perfect Christmas got completely derailed, Johanne's brand new kitchen became the venue for the biggest New Year's party on the block. Not too shabby. And when you look at where she's at now, family united, fresh promotion as ward manager in the bag, and a new relationship blossoming, it looks like this 36-year-old nurse has finally found some solid ground in her otherwise chaotic life. But of course, fans are already wondering, what's next for Johanne? Season 4 renewal status and release date. Here's the thing. Given the show's turbulent history with renewals, the prospect of Season 4 is still up in the air right now. The show hasn't exactly had the smoothest ride when it comes to getting greenlit. But if Netflix does give us the good news soon enough, we're looking at a potential release around Christmas 2027. Yeah, that's a bit of a wait, but fingers crossed it happens. Johanne and Bo's romance could take center stage. Let's talk about what Season 4 could actually explore. Up until now, Home for Christmas has pretty much been a series of romantic failures for Johanne as she tries to find love during the holidays. But her relationship with Bo, it feels different from all her past attempts. Their story in Season 3 developed in such an unexpected way. Johanne hired Bo to completely redo her kitchen on a super tight deadline, and it turned out his eccentric schedule and workaholic tendencies were actually the perfect fit for the project. So even though there wasn't an immediate spark compelling her to chase romance, they still ended up spending a ton of time together. Unlike her past lovers, Henrik, Jonas, all those guys, Bo is something entirely new and unique. And their climactic union at the end of Season 3 really gives the impression that this relationship might actually stick around. If that's the case, there's a strong chance Season 4 would center around developing their relationship. This would add a completely new angle to the show and let the narrative dive into waters it's never explored before. Johanne's life can still be chaotic, but for the first time ever, her love life could become a steady touchstone, a source of peace and comfort. Or, we could see exciting new storylines centered around the complications that come up even in a stable relationship. Because let's be real, relationships aren't always smooth sailing, right? Returning cast members. Now, who can we expect to see back if Season 4 happens? Over its first 3 seasons, Home for Christmas has built its story around a core group of familiar characters alongside a revolving door of new faces. Season 4 would most likely continue that tradition. So fans can definitely expect some long-standing and crucial cast members to make a comeback. That includes Ida Elise Brock as Johanne, obviously, and the actors who play her family members. Dennis Storhoy as Tor, Annette Hoff as Jordi, Helga Guren as Maria, Sajid Malik as Ayaz, and Christian Ruud Callum as Morten. Depending on how Johanne's love life progresses, Gard Lucke will probably reprise his role as Bo. And we might see familiar faces who've been around for a while return too. Hege Schoyen as Bente, Felix Sandman as Jonas, Oddgeir Thun as Henrik, and Iselin Shumba as Jeanette. Plus, those newly introduced characters who became a notable part of Johanne's life, there's a high chance they'll become recurring fixtures. So expect to see characters like Vera, Ingrid, Eric, and Trim again in future seasons. And lastly, as is tradition with this series, Season 4 would likely bring in a whole bunch of new characters. Their roles in Johanne's story will depend entirely on which direction the show decides to take her romantic arc. Potential storylines for Season 4. Speaking of directions, Season 3's ending left Johanne in an incredibly conclusive place. She's got her promotion as ward manager, her streak of bad luck in romance might have finally ended, and despite all the complications within her family, everyone managed to come together to celebrate New Year's and appreciate the strength of their bonds. But here's where things get interesting. Johanne's story can go 2 very distinct ways from here. On one hand, it would be fascinating to see what her life looks like when she's finally in a stable, reliable relationship. That's new territory for this show. On the other hand, there's always a chance her romance with Bo could crash and burn like all the others before it. Remember what happened between seasons 2 and 3? Despite Johanne getting her happy ending with Jonas at the end of season 2, she was single again when season 3 rolled around. So there's always a possibility the show carries forward that narrative to preserve the speed dating aspect of Johanne's story. That would allow season 4 to introduce a whole new group of potential love interests. But if the series decides to keep Bo as Johanna's ultimate endgame, there's a chance season 4 might focus on a wedding arc. And knowing this show, it would pitch all the turbulence of Johanne's familial and platonic relationships right at the center of that storyline. Imagine all that family drama playing out while she's trying to plan a wedding. It could be absolute chaos in the best way possible. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.